The United States has indicted 12 Russian officials suspected of hacking into the computers of the Democratic presidential campaign. Russia has offered to let a U.S. team question them if Russians in turn can interrogate 11 Americans, including former U.S. ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul. The idea that a U.S. diplomat would be questioned by a foreign government has rattled even some Republicans in Congress.
I don't think there is one member of Congress on either side of the aisle that believes it is remotely smart to allow, to require our former ambassador, Mr. Broder, or any other person to submit to interviews by Putin's government.
McFaul served as the U.S. envoy to Moscow from 2012 to 2014. Russia wants to interrogate him about his connection with London-based businessman Bill Browder, who has been convicted of tax fraud in Russia. The State Department on Wednesday called Russian suggestions absurd. Pompeo on Thursday firmly rejected the idea that any American would be sent to Russia for questioning.
It's not going to happen. The Russians made a proposal about a number of things during the course of the conversations between President Trump and President Putin. There were suggestions, comments, thoughts by President Putin with respect to that inquiry. President Trump was very clear. We're not going to force Americans to go to Russia to be interrogated by the Russians. There's been a lot of noise about that. I don't know why. Just the American people should rest assured.
But critics are not swayed, especially Democrats who want to know if Russia's interference may have influenced the election's outcome.
President Trump obviously seemed frightened in the presence of Putin. What was he afraid of? What is Putin blackmailing President Trump with?
A special counsel is investigating whether Trump was in agreement with Russia to ensure his election victory. Republicans reject that possibility, but lawmakers of both parties say Russia will try to meddle again in the U.S. November election this year and are working on ways to prevent it. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.